What's up, gang, and welcome to Film Director Reacts. And I know it's been a minute, so some quick updates. So this last couple weeks I have actually been creating some series pitches for Sony TriStar, sending those over. And this week I am actually redoing my pitches for Netflix. I know some of you on my community tab, I talked a little bit before that they didn't like my ideas I sent there, but they gave me some adjustments. So this week is all about me making some adjustments with some of their feedback to try to pitch it over there. So that is what I've been doing. I've been incredibly busy. But today I am really excited. I get to do CL from 21's comeback for, I think it's been years, since we've seen them. And it's HWA. Now, I looked HWA up because I didn't actually know who HWA was, and it's short for a flower, and the flower is like the lily of the valley, and it's a big flower in Korea, so I think it's probably going to be some kind of metaphor about blooming again, which actually makes a lot of sense. But before we get to HWA, let's run the intro. My name's Paul Leach, and I'm a writer-director in Los Angeles. I've been interviewed by such publications as The Huffington Post and the New York Council on Cultural Affairs. I've worked with Emmy winners and Oscar winners, and the feature film that I directed went to Cannes. In this series, we break down footage from the point of view of a film director, and we will stop often to look at shots. If you have not seen this video or this footage before, please go watch the whole thing all the way through, because again, we stop all the time and then come back here and break down the footage together with us. Okay, gang, welcome back. And again, if you have not seen this music video, go watch it all the way through and then come back here because we are going to stop a lot so we can check it out and break down the shots. And that's what we do here. So without further ado, let's get into CL's HWA and action. Yeah, so I guess that is that flower. You can already see that there's high shutter speed here. Can you guys see it? Racked focus. Ah, that's really nice. It's really beautiful. I like that she's out of focus there, or actually just sort of silhouette in the background. Nice shot. So here again, they did sort of like that weird thing that they do in K-pop music videos where they cut between two takes of the same shot. So check it. See right there, they just cut to the same exact shot. Here. And it's the exact same shot, and it was actually, I don't think it was a different take, I think it was the same take. Not sure why they did that. CL has a lot of charisma. You don't really need to do these fast cuts to actually up her charisma a little bit. A little bit of a weird choice. Let's see what happens. Yeah, did you guys notice here, like this whole section, this little section here, they just didn't cut it all? Not that part. Yeah, that's that HWA. I think we missed it. Yeah, wow, this is really cool set design. And look, I guess those are all those flowers in the background. This is a beautiful shot. I think this might be the same location as the other one, except this is just a little bit earlier. Really cinematic, silhouetted, beautiful lighting, backlighting in the background. Beautiful. It's cool. She's got so much swag, huh? I wish this shot here, though. Hold on. This shot here, I wish... The focus is very soft on this. I wish this would have been really, really sharp and really dramatic. This red on black could really, really be dramatic. If it was really red and there was a super high contrast here, I feel like that this is a bit of a wasted shot. In terms of this could have hit a lot harder. Really good design. It's so good. Like this production design, just look, you know, between the contrast between the light and the dark, and you notice that it's dark above where the high contrast white is, and it's light below where the high contrast dark is. Guys, why do I exhaustively wear all my dark clothes, which I don't have a lot of, and you guys have seen all of them? Why am I always wearing dark shirts in these videos? Why? Because high contrast. Because this is light. Great contrast. I think it's a drag queen. Yeah, these are cool dancers though. I mean, just from a production standpoint, that's a beautiful shot. And you notice that they're kind of opening up like a flower, and the whole thing is about that flower. It's very good production design. This swinging this around is cool. Like, I really like that effect where there's sort of like this thing on fire going through the darkness. Like they had that on the Luna video on the bridge part of So What. And also this reminds me of 21's Come Back Home, where CL is throwing the bottles, the Molotov cocktails. In order to get this trailing effect, you have to really keep your lens open a little longer to get, or it's actually, you know what they also could have done? They could have actually reduced the shutter speed. Remember we talked about shutter speed and how the high shutter speed? You can actually reduce the shutter speed to create more motion blur. So to create all this extra tailing here, you can, although I think that is just being blown out a little bit, but if you wanted to create a tail on here, you could actually reduce your shutter speed to create more motion blur. Maybe like a 1-to-1 ratio. Like maybe if you shoot this at 60, maybe your shutter speed's around 120. This is high shutter speed. Yeah, see what I'm saying? This part here, I like the idea of this. It could be much sharper, much clearer. She could be much more red in the background, much more contrasty. Right now it looks very fuzzy. Lighting the fire is good. It creates a new texture. And again, it kind of reminds me of Come Back Home, where, you know, the people are walking through the clouds of the Molotov cocktails, and now, so it's creating kind of this atmosphere with the smoke in the background. And it's, again, it's a low angle, sort of a God shot looking up on them, and they're crowding the frame. And now the smoke is in the background of these scenes, so there's this progression. Beautiful. I love it. This is such a good framing right here, where she's just kind of opening up her arms. So again, it's sort of like rising again. Maybe the flower is opening. It's very appropriate for, I think, her career. And this is just kind of towards the end of the song where they throw all the typical K-pop style. They took all the scenes and they just kind of bring them all back together to kind of like ramp up for the ending. This is a new scene. Well, it's probably the same place, but it's a different shot. Oh, it's so nice. I wish they would do more of this. I wonder if there's more of this here. Hold on. Such a beautiful. I'm a little partial to walking through these golden fields of wheat. It's sort of a shot I really love. And so this shot, I'm just very particular in terms of I'm a little biased towards. I wish I would have seen this before, and I hope there's more of this. If it's only a little flash, I'd be disappointed, but it's such a beautiful shot. I hope there's more of this. And it kind of comes out of nowhere because they didn't establish this field of grass. All of a sudden she's just running through the field of grass. And so unless it comes back again, it might feel a little randomized. There should sort of be an establishing of it, and then you see it again. Because you don't really see it there. But I like this shot too. So from a sheer storytelling point of view, from like a narrative, like there's a couple misses on this, but the shots are beautiful. And then the flower's on fire. think the focus on her is a little fuzzy there. Oops, sorry guys. Oops, sorry guys. Oops, user error. Anyways, so what do I think of this song? This song reminds me of kind of some old 21, sort of the maybe sort of like the Fire, you know, old, because you know the chorus is just sort of like this spoken phrase, which is sort of that Teddy Park thing. But then I know that 21 kind of got away just from doing that and had more melodic stuff, and like they went to like Come Back Home and like Goodbye, which are just crazy, beautiful, amazing songs. This reminds me of old 21. CL is always so much charisma, and she looks great. I mean, she hasn't aged at all. I can't really tell. So she looks amazing. She's got so much swag. I'd be interested to see what her other stuff is like. I want to see if she could take that 21 vibe and then keep on building on top of it and reiterating it. I don't want to really personally see just 21 again, the same as it was, you know, 15 years ago, or was it 15, 10 years ago? I would love to see that her take it to the next level, because she is totally capable of doing that. I think she was starting to do that in her solo stuff, like Hello Bitches and that kind of stuff. But I'm interested to see where this goes. It's a really good start. And there were some really beautiful exteriors. I think it was all in one location though. And then there was some really cool interiors on a stage. I feel like they kind of had two sets. They had the sound stage, and then had that one exterior shot where they used several times, one with a tree, one with wheat. And the interior soundstage, it was used several times. They just changed up the lighting. They just changed up with smoke or not. And then a couple times they changed up like the amount of dancers that were in it. Actually, there was kind of two set pieces there. There was one with the sort of tiled background with the flowers. So anyways, you can kind of tell that there wasn't a huge budget on this because of the limitations in the sets. But so saying, unless you have an eye for production, you probably won't notice it. They really maximized and stretched their budget in terms of like what they had to go with, which is a really good job, which is a huge skill on its own. And I think that is really good. I don't see how you could do more with what they had in creating a variety of visuals, and it was really, really good. I feel like maybe there was a few interesting editing choices, like only showing that one running through the wheat scene that one time and for literally like a second. And then also sort of some of the cuts between takes were unnecessary. I'm not sure why they did that between the same exact take. And I think that maybe there could have been a little better editing in terms of telling a better narrative, in terms of like establishing scenes and then coming back to those scenes. But so saying, it really fit the general K-pop formula of music videos where you keep on adding sets and then towards the end you just throw all the sets together and, you know, build. So I will always love CL. 21 is amazing. They're one of the best groups, and such a shame. I would love to see them come back. Is it possible? Could they ever come back together? They would take over the world. If they all came back together, that would be the biggest selling album of all time, and those are probably the biggest selling concerts of all time. So, CL, glad you're back. I think you live in LA here with me now, which, you know, isn't bad, except we're on lockdown, and California is the worst state in the country right now. But anyways, for 21, CL's HWA. So glad you're back. Loved it. Let's see what else you got. It's a wrap.